Hey guys, welcome into the PuggoReborn channel. Today we're going to be looking at the 4.5-inch M1 gun. Now, this was actually a challenge by the community because when I did my US starter guide, I said in there that, hey, if you have a weapon that you think is amazing, outstanding, and you get at least 20 likes on that unit, I will showcase it. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to be putting this against similar artillery pieces within the faction, as well as facing other factions to see how accurate, how quick you can reload, etc., etc., etc. We're going to make sure to test to make it proven whether or not it's good or not. So, with that, I will also want to extend that community challenge to anybody. If there is a unit in the game that you think is amazing, or really good, or sucks, and you want to prove me right or wrong, by all means, leave that in the comment section. If you get at least 20 likes, I will make a video on it. Let's check out this artillery piece. For starters, with the 4.5-inch gun, the things you need to know about it is, number one, it has a reload speed of 21 seconds, it has 21 HE shells, and finally it has a range of 455 meters. Now this is fantastic. Any artillery piece that can hit about halfway through the map is really great, especially for hammering down range. The one fault I do give it for that range is the fact that it only has 21 shells. 21 shells, you're going to burn right through it very, very quickly. My suggestion is to have a supply truck with it. Normally with artillery, you will have a supply truck, but if you are newer to the game, it is more pivotal for a weapon like this because you are going to burn through munitions very, very fast. As I face it off against the US faction, I want to keep it within the same caliber. What I mean by this is a 4.5 is essentially 114 millimeters. Whereas the two other howitzer cannons that we're using today are going to be the 105. The difference between the two is that these have different, one has plate and the other one doesn't. This is really important for, of course, shielding your guys, but also for the mobility. These guys are more mobile than its former piece here. So we'll just keep that in mind. These also only have a 300 range, so we're only going to be testing up to 300 meters. Now, if you're wondering, well, what about the farther ranges here? That's where we're going to have the factions face off against each other. As of right now, again, these are only 300 meters, so we are going to test up to 300 meters, and then we're going to do some other tests, but 3 at a time is ultimately what our goal is. The first range is 200. We're going to go 250, and then 300 in the back line. Starting out will be the plate howitzer, and here we go. Here's the first shot. A little bit off on that one. You can hear him yelling now. Okay, that one ends up killing and actually did some damage to these guys over here. That's fairly accurate. And the last one here. Okay, so within range, 200 meters, really, really good there. As more than likely expected. Next is going to be the howitzer without the plate. Wow, about dead on there. That was really good for the first shot. Let's do another one here. Let's do the next one. Okay, that accuracy good. About the same exact spot that I just hit. Let's try it again. Just a little bit forward, not bad though. It probably would have killed them all 3 shots. And then the last thing here we're going to test out is, of course, the 4.5. You notice that accuracy is closer, so that's good. Both guys are launched off of it, which means that they are dead. Next, we'll try another one. Wow, that was very inaccurate that time. Let the cone stop. Try again. Oh, and that one actually hit the gun. That is really good. Okay, next, we're going to go back to the other side here. We're going to do the howitzer with the plate. Let that accuracy stop. Good deal. Ends up killing. Next. Let the accuracy come in range. Might have done damage there. I don't know if that's a kill shot. Way off, way off. I don't know what the plate... So far, we've had some bad luck with that plate. Yes, they did kill that first one, but it does just... I don't know. That was too wildly inaccurate. Shells. All right, here we go. This is without the plate. Holy cow, that was inaccurate as well. I'm in range here. Whoa, way off, way off. Okay, another one here. Try it again. Again, this is at 250 meters. Okay, a little bit of damage on that one, nothing crazy. Hopefully the 4.5 can show out. We're gonna find out right now. Accuracy's in. Accuracy's in. Okay, actually killed one of the gunners, which more than likely means that the other gunner is hurting pretty bad right now. Okay, accuracy's in. And he's dead that time. So the second shot does the job. Okay, and that wouldn't have done any damage. So 2 of those ended up killing at least one or the other. For the guys in the guns, the only one who wasn't affected was the middle. So that's really unfortunate. But here we go. The last test. We're going to start with the plate at 300 meters. Way off. Dead on. That is a direct hit. That was really nice. Let's see if we can't hit directly on again. Okay, ended up killing the guys next to him. If this was the main target find, you're gonna end up getting some kills here. Okay, I just wanted to reset. I wanted to be fair to see what can be done here. So, all right. So let's line it up. Let that accuracy cone come in. We'll give it a shot. Okay, that was close enough to kill, so that's really good. Again, that cone is pretty wide, and you can see the inaccurate shots. I will say, I have liked the non-plate for its accuracy a little better. As I say that, it's way off. So far, it's tough. They're pretty close. They're probably the exact same if we're being honest here, but... Okay, that would have hurt him. You can see a little blood splatter for a second there. All right, now let's try the last test here with the 4.5. Let that accuracy come in. And that's a kill. Again, the shell size is a little bit bigger, so it's unsurprising that you're going to actually kill him if you're a little bit off, so accuracy can lack a little bit. And oh, that would have killed him there. You can see the blood splatter from the dead bodies already. And there was a little like ting thing, like if like let's say a round ended up bouncing off metal, you could see that on the gun. Okay, and that would have done nothing. So of the 3, it was clear that the 4.5 was the most accurate. Now the next thing we want to test is we want to test it against the enemy. Okay, that's really going to be the determining factor for how good it actually is. But for what it's worth, it is definitely better than these other howitzers. So if you are going to spend the extra points, I can firmly say that this is a better artillery piece. And keep in mind also that these are both 25 points each. They are comparable because it only costs 25 manpower to get it out on the field. And these are also 25 manpower. So you are getting more bang for your buck with the 4.5. All right, guys, now we're going to go over the other factions, and I picked the artillery pieces that are the most similar to the 4.5. So let's not waste any time. We're going to go over the basic stats of these and why we ended up picking them. So for starters here, we have ourselves the 105 K34. This is one of the most interesting artillery pieces in coordinates to the 4.5. And the reason is because while it is 105 millimeter for the shell, it is within 10. It also has, the thing that makes it so unique is 16-second reload time. By far faster than everybody else, 5 seconds faster than the competition here. It also only comes with HE shells, and there's only 20 of them. And then finally, the range is 420 meters. So really, really good. Very, very fast to reload. Unique artillery. Guys, I want to pause real quick. I made a quick mistake in the editor. When I was making the video, I accidentally pulled the 122, and I meant to pull the 107. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't verify it, and that's honestly really dumb on my part. I'm really frustrated. I could go back and try to redo this. It would just be a lot of editing, a lot of things, and I felt like for the showcasing of the 122, I felt like it was still a good comparison to the 4.5, so I will keep it as is. I may do another video on the 107, so if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section below. I do apologize. Just know this is a fantastic artillery piece. I've used this many times, and unfortunately, we're not able to showcase it today. So with that, let's get back to the video. Piece next. The next closest for the Soviets would be 122 millimeters, and this one here is a little bit different than the others. It does come with 10 armor-piercing, high explosive rounds, very accurate. It goes up to 110 meters for range when you're going to fire. It also has 15 HE shells, and the longest range of them, which is 465 meters. But it also has the longest reload time at 26. So big boom, a little bit slower to reload, but very accurate. We already talked about the 4.5, that's what we're competing with here. And then finally, the most comparable artillery piece to the 4.5, which is the 10.5 centimeter cannon here for the Germans. Now, the Germans cannon also has a 21-second reload time, the same as the US 4.5. It also comes with 6 armor-piercing, high-explosive rounds, very accurate, 210 meters in terms of the range, and it comes also with 20 HE shells, which is comparable to the US 4.5 as well. The range for this also ends up being 450 meters, which is third highest because the 4.5 is 55 meters. So they're very, very similar to each other, but the 10.5 has has a different type of shell for taking out tanks. All of the enemy artillery pieces are lined up and are ready to face each other. This is going to be an interesting one to see who comes out on top with the most accuracy when trying to take out their foes. In order to do this, the way I have this set up is every faction is going to be facing the faction that is an enemy of them. For instance, the US is going to be taking on the Germans are taking on the US. The Soviets are taking on Finland, and Finland is taking on the Soviets. As in the same regard, all of the units have 200 health, so they are comparable to each other. They also have a tank that is very comparable, armor-wise, to each other, with a T-28, the Panzer IV, and the Sherman. Now, the Sherman does have a little bit more armor, but it shouldn't matter with 105 to 122 round hitting it. So with that being said, guys, we are going to test it out at 200, 250, 300, 400, and 450. Finland will be the only one who bows out in this race at the 450 mark, but let's see how dangerous it can be within the other ranges. First test at 200 meters, we're going to start with Finland. Okay, good. Bit off there. We'll let the accuracy come down. We'll try to hit the back end here. All right. That was pretty good. Let's check the damage here. Pretty darn good here. Almost destroyed the hull here. All of the tank crewmen are perfectly fine inside. Now we take the Soviets. Oof, you gotta love that bigger shell. Okay. Oh, big hit. The head of the turret ended up going down. And the last one here. Ooh, ended up missing by a mile. We'll check the tank here. Head is gone. There's only 2 crewmen left inside. Now the 4.5 cannon. Fortunately, a bit off there. Try again. Okay, did end up hitting a few of those guys. And here we go. We'll try doing like the back side a little bit. Hey, not exactly the best showing right there. But let's check and see how these guys are all doing here. The tank is barely damaged, and everybody else is pretty well fine. So now for the 10.5 centimeter for the Germans. Even for missing, that was pretty good. Oof, that was pretty rough. I'll give it a second longer to kind of hone in. We're dead on here. Man, missed All of them, except ended up doing a little bit of damage there. That's super unfortunate for 200. All right, now we're going to be testing 250 and starting with finish. Well, I tell you what, it's been really accurate hitting that one side. Let's kind of bring it back a little bit. Could not quite hit on that one here, even when I switch over and check them, there was not much damage going on right there. So now the 122 for the Soviets. We'll see how it ends up playing here. We'll let it zoom in a little bit. All right, here we go. Wildly off. I tell you what, this has been a common theme at the moment here. Let's kind of try this again here. We'll back here. Go. I mean, the size of the shell is obviously helping it out a lot. So there is that. Last one. Here we go. Even at that range, it still ends up killing those guys. I'm pretty positive we did nothing to the tank. No damage to the tank. Everybody's intact. And now for the 4.5-inch cannon. Here we go. Gotta hit at least one of these here. All right. Missed by a mile on both of them. It's unfortunate. Finally, the 10.5 to round it all off here. Let's see how it does. Oh, man. That could have been, yeah. Look at that accuracy, man. What the heck? Let's kind of go towards the back a little bit here. Weird, it's like the tank is kind of showing that it's closer. But it's right there. It's just the angle, actually. Okay. Fair enough. Now, we did end up hitting the tank twice. So let's kind of look at that. The hull is damaged. Nobody's dead inside the tank, but the track is gone. Now at 300 meters, let's see how Finland does. Okay, that was actually pretty accurate, though. I mean, even for the last one here. Okay. I will say, for 300 meters, that was actually pretty impressive. Could have been a fluke, sure. Now, there was no damage done to the tank, but still, all around it, infantry completely blasted. It was still within that, still within the cones. That was good. All right, now the Soviets, you're going to notice that cone's getting pretty big for Soviets. At 122. Oof. Way off there, way off. Let's see if we get a little more accuracy here. Technically, it should be like right here. Seeing through the tank, it would be 300. Okay, that was good. That was a good one. The range obviously shows that it could be anywhere, but let's do this last one here. Okay. Still ended up hitting those guys. I think the thing is when you have that big of a radius, of course the boom is going to help you, but no tank damage. So now the 4.5. Let's see how it performs. Holy crap, that was way off. Oh my gosh. All right, try it again. Sometimes it's a fluke. I genuinely am unsure what's going on here because that cone. Holy cow. Wildly inaccurate, that showing. I don't know. That was not ideal. To round it out, the 10 centimeter, or 10, I'm sorry, 10.5 centimeter. Let's see how it does. Okay, did a little bit of damage to a soldier there, I seen. Let's see what this has. Technically, this is in range. It's just the tanks showing it off. Dude, really nice. Really, really nice. Okay, here we go. Last one. Ended up killing most of the soldiers here. I'm telling you, I mean, for what it's worth, just saying as is. The thing is it seems as if that's been the most accurate so far, but let's get the further range. Let's see how wild things can get. Now for 400 meters, and we're going to start with Finland again. This will be the last test for Finland because they can't hit 450 meters. So here we go. Let's see, look at that cone. Whew. I think we should be right here. Ooh, that sounded pretty cool, actually. All right, go right here. Okay. Did a little bit of damage to the soldiers there. Let's fire again. Okay. It was still within range. I mean, you got here, here, and here. Finland's pretty accurate. It may not be as accurate so far as the 10.5, but my final thoughts on the Finland portion of this is you gotta love the speed of which you can shoot something downrange. The fact that you can hit downrange more can make up some of the accuracy concerns, but I definitely gotta give it to Finland. They did a really good job. Now for Soviets, the big gun here. Nice. I mean, again, why do you don't need to be accurate when you can just have a big enough shell to help you. Still really, really, really good. The problem would be the reload time, though. So you're doing something. That wasn't even close. That was way over here. So just, I don't know, it's just crazy. 4.5, let's see how it does. Jeez, that thing came flying in pretty quick, though. Okay, good. Looks pretty good. It's got to be close here. Man. Ah, man, 4.5 is a bit of a it's been a bit of a disappointment here, to be honest with you. The accuracy, but we'll give it one more. I understand we're going at really long ranges, but compared to Finland, and we'll see what the Germans do. That'll really determine it. And finally, the Germans. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know if the accuracy cone. I don't even know what to say about this. Okay, that was actually not the greatest compared to what we've been seeing so far. And granted, could be just luck, and I admit that. Okay, see, the first one was really great. Even to see it did damage to the cannon in both of the tracks, taking out one of the tracks. Really, really nice shot. But I'll be honest, that's been the consistency of the 10.5 centimeter. Now at 450 meters, this is going to be the Soviets to start. That was a really good shot. That was pretty awesome. Okay, accuracy's good. Still really nice shot. And the last one here. Gotta love that sound, right? Very, very good. I'll give you my final thoughts in a second here. Last chance of redemption for the 4.5, and I want to say also I understand that this is only 3 shots, and I did talk about 5 at the beginning, but yeah, it's been pretty consistently inaccurate. But let's see how we do here. See, and that's full accuracy, guys. I'll wait here. We'll wait until that thing completely stops. Okay, it stopped. Okay, and the last one. Let it set up. Okay, accuracy's in. I mean, yeah, that's just unfortunate. All right, and the last test here with the 10.5 centimeter for the Germans. Let's see how it performs. That was very bad. That was very bad. Let it dial in again here. Okay. I mean, come on, guys. Is it just luck? Incredible. Okay, well, I'm going to give you my final thoughts here. Hopefully you did like this range session here. Alright guys, now I'm going to give you my final thoughts on all the artillery pieces and I'll give you who I thought did the best and who falls short. So, for starters, here it is clear there are some differences between the artillery pieces. Not a great. Some of them are greater differences than others. You know, for instance, the 122 has the big HE, so of course it's killing more units around the area, even if it's a little inaccurate. The reload time, of course, could be a hindrance, and you want to be able to pop down range, even if you are a little inaccurate. That's where the 21 seconds comes into hand for the reload time. However, Finland did end up beating that pretty easily because they were relatively pretty darn accurate, and while they didn't do a lot of damage to the tank so much, they did a really good job at getting close. They were always within range of the units. There was one standout that obviously took the cake here, and I'm going to put first place here to the 21 centimeter. This thing is, or 21. I'm going to give first place easily to the 10.5 centimeter. This thing is ridiculous. It hit within range. It did dead on accuracy. It felt the best, and we didn't even try the APHE shells, but easily number one. Between what you're getting in terms of the reload time and getting accurate hits downrange and the opportunity to take out tanks, this definitely ends up being number one. Number two for me is definitely going to be the 105 K35. This thing was awesome. Honestly, I wish I had had this in my campaign because, man, I tell you right now, this thing it's the reload time is just impressive. As fast as you can reload and throw HE shells downrange. It doesn't have the AP HE rounds as these other some of the other ones do, but it is so dang accurate. You get like 3 of these or 4 of these together, and you're going to be absolutely wrecking anybody downrange. I definitely was a huge fan of this. The only thing that sucks is it didn't have the outstanding range, and the shell did feel a little bit lackluster at times, doing damage to the tanks as well as some of the infantry. Next is got to go to the Soviets 122. Now, the Soviet 122, I know some of you may be commenting right off the bat saying, Puggo, this isn't fair. The HE shell is massive. It's got a little more range, whatever. But the thing is, it's the extremes. It's still within the 10 millimeter, and it's an extreme in between because of the fact that it has 26 reload time. That's pretty impressive. Only 5 seconds off. Same thing could be said with the K35 that we just talked about. Also, the shell being bigger, sure, but if you did notice, that cone was quite a bit bigger than the others. So you did have trial and error based on your range. And the range was off only by 15 meters, I think, from the others. 15 meters because it was 265. So again, this is a great option. I think it performed great. Honestly, it could go in front of Finland. It's kind of interchangeable, but as we got downrange, even at 400 meters, it was wild. And 450, it just seemed like it didn't have a chance to really do something special. Whereas Finland at 420 was fantastic, or 400 was fantastic. And then finally, the 4-pounder, the one that we came in looking at in the first place, absolute disappointment. I am shocked by how well it performed to start, but even if we're looking at the ranges up to 300, I will give it that it does pretty good up to 300 meters. But it being rated for 400 and 450, that's when it fell off a cliff. Don't get me wrong, in terms of the US, I think it was better than the other two, but because of that accuracy up to 300. But man, when we're talking about competing against some of these other cannons, it felt bad from the get. It felt like a bad cannon. But again, so here's what I would say. My final thoughts on the 4.5 inch cannon. And granted, I will play this more. I will try it out more. If I have refined thoughts, I'll put it in the comment section. However, what I will say about this one is that if you're using it for 300 meters, it's awesome. It competes with everyone else. It was on par up to 300 meters with the 10.5, so I have no qualms about that. I think it's a great 300 meter cannon. But if you do try to get that long shot across the map, or the extra 100 meter range, guys, just be understanding this is not the cannon for that. It's only a Hail Mary, we'll call it. So if I had to give it a grade, because I like giving grades for videos like this, I will give it a 6.5, maybe even a 7. No, I'll go with a 7. I'll go with a 7, because most shots that you are going to take are going to be within 300 range. I'll give it a 7. I just wish that for what it's rated for, it could be more on par as the others. But the other ones definitely outshined this piece of artillery beyond 400 or 300 meters. So that being said, guys, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. If you did like this video, if you felt like it was informal, please hit that like. Let people know that I still exist on YouTube. So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next video.